Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Today we are looking at some new malicious compliance stories. I hope you enjoy the video. The first story is called I Shall Not Count. I used to work at a small retail store. We were 3 people working there, myself as a full-time employee, another employee at part-time and the owner at full-time. I had worked in retail before, but the owner did not have other retail experience. She came from the corporate world and opened her dream store without any retail experience. I opened the store 5 days a week and closed 3 to 5 days a week. The owner opened the other 2 days a week and otherwise came and went as she needed to, while the part-time employee filled in the gaps. The owner trained me on a lot of things that were not standard retail practice, including only balancing the till at closing and then not counting the till again the next morning. Now, the part-time employee was super sweet and I really liked working with her. But she had a terrible memory and was awful at counting. She would regularly accidentally leave the till off by a couple of dollars and cents. It was always an innocent mistake and the cash deposit would always balance however the till was off. And sometimes I would count wrong, and sometimes even the owner would count wrong. So I started counting the till in the mornings at opening. Just to ensure we were double checking that no theft was occurring after the nightly cash out and that the till balances at the beginning of the day. Makes sense, right? Well, not according to the owner. One day she came in early on one of my days to open. She was surprised when I told her I had been doing it for months. Not only did she think it was a waste of time to count the float and the till in the morning, she somehow misconstrued it to me insulting her or the other employee. Apparently I was accusing them of something by counting the till. I told her I count the till every morning I open, even when I was the one to cash out the night before. Sometimes I would catch my own mistakes. But she wouldn't have it. I said it was normal retail procedure to count the till when you open. She said that didn't matter. I reminded her about all the times I had caught discrepancies that actually explained the nightly cash deposit being incorrectly counted. I told her that counting the till in the morning is how I caught all the previous mistakes. Still, she didn't care. I explained that if I was responsible for the till being over or under at the end of the day, shouldn't I have the opportunity to ensure I was starting the day with an accurate float? Still didn't care. She demanded I stop doing it. So I did. The first few days nothing big happened. But after a couple of weeks all the cash draws were wildly off. The till was regularly under or over at the end of the day. And the owner couldn't track where the errors were coming from. I had a few days off, so she knew it wasn't coming from me. She knew why it was happening. So quietly and without eye contact, she asked for the other employee and I to count the till when we opened the store from then on. The next story is called Not My Problem. I work in architecture. My firm has standard Excel files we've used for years to track basic project info like building codes, installation requirements and cladding materials. Out of nowhere, last spring my boss decided he doesn't like those and we needed to use a new shoddy Word document form he typed up to track all that information moving forward. He said in his email he specifically wants the lead project designer to fill it out. While that sounds great in theory, our project designer doesn't know anything at all about any of this. She is an excellent designer, but doesn't know energy requirements, brick sizes or metal gauges from her left foot. And everyone knows this except for my boss, who is in denial. I replied that I disagree and think if we are going to use this new form, the people who fill it out should be me and the project manager, since we are more in tune with the technical requirements. He got pretty angry and reiterated that she must be the person to fill it out, not me. I spoke up one more time a week later and he scolded me for not trusting him or the designer. Fine. I decided to take a step back and let her run with it. I even spoke with some other colleagues who agreed it was a stupid form and she would mess it all up. But we would honor his request and let her fail so we can swoop in to fix it later. Now, over half a year later, we started up another project. As requested, I sent her the blank form, since she couldn't even be bothered to look for it. I also added some other basic project info to help nudge her in the right direction. I realized, as petty as I am, we are still a team and don't want us to fail together. Even with hand feeding her some of this info, she took several weeks to input some super basic info. She came to several of us asking what she needs to write in multiple times. I even wrote down all the specifics for her on several products. Now, over 3 months later, it's still not complete and my boss is absolutely furious at the team. Not the lead designer, the whole team. I skimmed through the document and there were still a dozen highlighted sections where text she was unsure of and blank lines she ignored. Before he launched this form, I gave it a trial run on my previous project and it took less than 3 hours to fill out. So here we are, 3 months later, and my boss is livid that we all failed to assemble all this info he wanted in a timely and accurate manner. Oh well, not my problem. I reference my previous email from March that says I am specifically not allowed to fill it out. Sucks for him, I guess. I hope you enjoyed today's video so far. If you want more content, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the video, don't forget to press the like button. It really helps. And now, on to the next story. The third story is called I Shall Bring Snacks for Everyone. Back in high school, around 2010, I used to work the closing shift at Dunkin' Donuts on Sunday nights. Per company policy, I could box up to 2 dozen donuts to bring home with me before throwing the rest out. 1 dozen went with my dad to work in the morning, 1 came with me to school. Specifically my Spanish class, which was a pretty small and pretty tight-knit group. This tends to happen when a lot of coursework is practicing conversations with each other. This practice of bringing donuts every Monday sparked an idea in one of my classmates' heads, Anne. Since it's so nice to have donuts once a week, we should do a weekly snack day where everyone can bring something in. They decided this would be on a Thursday, and I said I'd just continue bringing in donuts every week on Monday as my contribution. Everyone was okay with this, except for Anne. No, this snack day was Thursday. And if you aren't going to bring in a snack on a Thursday, then you aren't welcome to participate. I was pretty mad, but what can you do? It's only one snack, one time. Then I got to think about it. I was only required to bring a snack, not something sweet or delicious or even palatable. As long as it was edible, then it counted. My next closing shift, I grabbed an extra, empty dozen box. I went to the store on Wednesday night and got a 5-pound bag of potatoes. I washed them and put them right in the box and dropped off the box early in the morning to my Spanish classroom so nobody would get wise to the actual contents. Apparently the earlier classes had seen the box sitting on a shelf and had told our class that we had donuts. Everyone was excited. I brought them up and put them on top of the projector, trying my best not to betray the extra heft. They all scurried up excitedly and Anne herself was the one to open the box. Her blank expression turned to raw frustration. "You were supposed to bring a snack today," she protested. "I did," I said, walking up to the box and grabbing a potato, biting into it while making direct eye contact with her. "You don't have to have any if you don't want." Everyone shuffled back to their desks. Anne tried desperately to grasp a new argument out of thin air, but it was not coming. I finished my potato triumphantly and brought the rest home for my mom after school. The box was checked, and she could not try to exclude me from the weekly snack day anymore. Everyone else in class, who thought she was a bit over the top, thought the antic was hilarious after they got over the initial disappointment. The last story is called Shouldn't Have Said That. So I have worked in and ran haunted houses for decades. Normally I work inside in my own room, but sometimes I enjoy being a line worker, one of the people entertaining guests as they wait in line to enter the haunt for the fresh air. This story occurs during one such time. So I'm working the line and I notice the kid every haunt worker hates. The one who's all, "I ain't scared. It's all fake. This is stupid." Well, despite being over 6 foot tall, years and years of haunt work mean I can move very quietly and unnoticed when I want to. So I waited until the kid's back was turned before sneaking up on him and scaring the crap out of him in front of his friends. Turns out the lady nearby was his mom, who got super mad. Like, lady, it's a haunt. Don't bring your rancid crushed fruit to Ron if you don't want him to be scared. But she insisted I not only never do that to her son again, but that I needed to go into the haunt and tell everyone not to scare him as well. Knowing full well that everyone in that haunt was as twisted as I was, I made sure to give her the "yes ma'am." And what is the young man's name, so I can tell them precisely who to watch for? We'll call him Kevin, son of Karen. So I go prancing into the haunt between groups and inform each and every room of workers that Kevin, son of Karen, is about to come through. He's in a red shirt with such and such on it. He's very scared and his mommy said I just had to tell you not to single him out and scare him. Pro tip: the last thing you want to do with a haunt is let the monsters know what your name is or single yourself out in any way. You think a haunt is bad when you're just a random person going through? Try it when people know your name and the monsters are screaming it into the night. And they stop to intentionally time every last scare to go off just for you. She only said I had to tell everyone not to scare her kid. Nobody was under any compulsion to do what I told them. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.